Chase Tree and Tractor Service with 25 years of experience in tree removal. Serving the Midcoast of Maine, licensed and insured Maine arborist. Whether it's a pesky blowdown or a hard-to-get tree that needs removal. When you need an experienced professional, Jake Chase is the man for the job. Call 207-242-8961 or email him at chasetreeandtractorservice.jc@gmail.com.
LCTV is your nonprofit community media station. Please donate at lctv.org to keep us strong. Thank you.
One, two, three, four. Well, I've been rolling in since the clock came Monday morning. From the end of the week, I'm bound to blow. Breeze walking to the honky-tonk like a pack of wolves now. Order up around the stripes and it's away we go.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite time of the week. It's Wuzzup time. I'm Larry Sidelinger, and with me today is the queen of the Y. That would be Miss Sally Farrell, and she's setting in for our man Bobby, who's off on assignment.
I would have to say Casey's the queen, but you know.
Well, that's right. One of the queens, one of the queens of the Y, and she's going to set in with Bobby here. Well, he's gone for the next couple of weeks, and so Sal, we haven't caught up for a while. We just did a show down there.
Yep.
It's coming out, but it's been a kind of a quiet winter. What's going on down the Y?
Well, you were there the other day.
I was.
So
it was
you can
crazy.
say it is not quiet at the Y.
And Karen was trying to get me to eat those beet pancakes, and I was like, ugh.
But Larry, you got to remember, the kids are there, sure, and they love the color magenta. The beets make all the food, so that has been our Valentine's thing happening at Farms at the Y.
When they had that little kid, when they had that little kid telling me how they make the pancake, and he said you put it all in a bowl and you shake it like a snake's tail. He said.
He knows your language, right?
I came right unglued. I was like, he was dead serious, you know. But it was cool watching those little kids there, you know, bake and make their pancakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Beets, I'm not, you know, you got a long way to go to convince me to eat beets.
All right, we'll keep working on it.
And I haven't got that many years left, you know.
All right, it's your birthday today, so happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
But we have third graders from all over the AOS come every month to our Farms at the Y kitchen.
That was the other thing I didn't find out. Why are the third graders? Aren't they in school?
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, it's a good thing to be a third grader in the AOS. They go to skating lessons. Some have. There's just a ton of things they get to do.
That.
And one of the great things is they come to our kitchen and it's all integrated with their curriculum. So they'll do their math with it, they'll do their science with it, they'll talk about different cultures with it.
Hands-on
They'll grow
experience.
the food, they bring it in, they learn how, you know, they're there with the knives chopping it, they learn how to cook with it, they eat with it. They all sit down together and like thank the farmer. So a lot of those kids who don't have that opportunities to just how you sit at a meal and talk about everyday things, they get such great opportunities. And since they're doing it every month, they just love coming in.
Yeah, it was cool.
We get to know them too that way, which is great.
I was amazed. Karen Kleinhoff, she has got like just such a presence. I mean, those kids look at her like she's a goddess or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, her background is as a teacher. She was an educator for years, and you need to do that.
Well, you can tell that she's got a lot of experience in doing that. It was fun stuff.
It is.
We ought to probably do a show about that.
I think we need to.
We get permission from all those parents and whatnot, let the kids do it. We could do a show on that.
That would be a great for our next one. You just can't say bad things about beets on the show, okay?
No. Karen told me she gave me a tongue lashing about that. As a good school mom would, she gave me a tongue lashing about talking about bad beets.
Yep.
About her pancakes. So what you got some camp stuff coming up we're talking about on the show.
Yes. So it's camp season coming up, and you know, each week we can have up to 200 kids that we're serving from the area each week. Some will go down to Booth Bay to Camp K, where they have a traditional camp experience. We have specialty camps at the Y, which means it might be they're doing wizarding, so everything's based on Harry Potter for a week. We have tennis camps. We have Farms at the Y, our cooking camps there. We have a special camp for the 4 to 6 year olds. And then we have our sailing camp, which is down in Round Pond. So, I mean, there are so many camps happening for 9 weeks at the Y in the summer. It is busy. So registration begins March 1st. So people really need to plan now. It's so frustrating when someone will call us in June and say, I need to sign up my child for camp, and it's already done at that point, and we're filled up. So
booked out.
Yeah, it's a great service to be able to do, but the earlier you can get to us, because we could make adjustments if we know that there's more kids. When it gets to June, it's really hard for us to make adjustments with our staffing.
Are you going to do that Kids Day there, that we bring all the big trucks and the race cars and all that stuff over?
Our Healthy Kids Day at the Y is at the end of April, so we'll
I need to get a
that.
date on that, because I got to get with the racetrack and see if we can get some more start. Those start cars are always a big hit.
They're a huge hit.
And I got to get with Mr. Hago. Seth is always very generous.
Brings all his equipment over for you, I think.
That's good stuff.
But yeah, we'll have our Healthy Kids Day, and we have all our community partners come and let us know what they do, and it's a great way for just a family to come in, see all the resources there are in our community, different ways they connect with other people, and it's all free. So it's a great, it's open to everyone, and you can come from anywhere. Everything's free, so it's just a nice way to connect.
But unfortunately, it would appear that the Y is bounced back by all the activity that's going on there from COVID. But I'm sure there's still a financial struggle trying to put it all together, like all the rest of us nonprofits have.
Absolutely. Like we're doing well, and you see how busy it is. The other thing that was happening when we were filming is every Tuesday and Thursday, Great Salt Bay rents our gym for their middle schoolers to be doing their phys ed classes there. So our spaces are scheduled all the time, but still we need to be paying all our staff,
Yeah.
And there's just so many things we need to do, and we give so many scholarships and allow, anyone can get a membership at the Y, and they don't need to pay for it. We help them financially, so we need to be able to support all those important programs too. So
community
we're always
partnership right there, if there ever was one.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
And if you think it's busy, then you should come at 3:15. I can't. Right now, you're at a time when all the middle school don't have any sports anymore.
Yeah, the basketball is over with, and
Lincoln's is starting to wrap up, right? We have a couple of wrestlers still continuing and some basketball, but for the most part, all those winter sports are finished, and the spring season doesn't start till the end of March. So guess where all those kids are every day?
Well, it's better to hang out there than it is on the streets, or sit home in front of a computer, TV, giggling around and whatnot.
It's where we want them. Yeah. And the other thing is those kids come in every day, and the people at farms at the Y, they make snacks for them that are free to all those teens each and every afternoon.
Teens can eat.
They can eat. So they can come in, and there might be cheddar cheese and Triscuits. There could be all assortment of fruit. It's all healthy foods, a sun butter sandwich, but they can get food, and there's access for them if they don't have other food at home to be able to take home food too. So that's something really important that we're doing. But that place is hopping.
Hopping. Well, that keeps you out of trouble.
Oh, they try.
So, some things here going on the front page. Not a lot in this week's paper, but the front page is the Contented Soul. I think that's going to be a winner for them.
I do too.
The head of the harbor, a newer facility.
Amazing. Warren knows this because we are one of their regular customers on Sunday by boat. So we're sad that you can't access them by boat. But
you're just going to have to go around the point now.
Yeah, but they don't have a dock. They don't have the dock space that they had before. But
co-op something, drop anchor and just bring a dinghy in.
But all the more people who will have access to it. That building, I don't know if you've seen it.
I've never been inside of it.
Yeah, years ago when it opened, it must have been when it was the Samaria Center. It must have been in the early 90s, because I was just out of college and I worked a wedding there when they had first opened, and it is just such a beautiful space.
It was like an event center, wasn't it?
Yeah, event center, and that's how Debbie Dodge bought it, as that empty type of space. And so for them to have that for 5 years, it's going to be incredible.
And they're going to use the whole building?
As far as I know, I'm not exactly sure on those details, but
Are they planning on still being seasonal? Or are they going?
They said they're going to be seasonal, but they can be open longer than they were able to be open at the restoration.
Makes sense.
So that does make sense, and
because I don't think the Contented Soul Pembroke Harbor is ever going to open up again. I don't see the state rebuilding that.
And last year, it got very difficult because the state runs the dock also. It was very hard. People were trying to come by boat, and it was such a popular restaurant. They couldn't raft up. They didn't have any type of launch service, so then people were missing their reservations. It got pretty tricky. So, this is just going to be a great situation for them. And all of their restaurants. They just do such a fabulous job.
They
I
do.
get to go to Bread and the Bone tonight. I missed Valentine's Day. My husband was away, but we're going to go tonight. so-
Tonight. Well,
Yeah.
it's a special day.
Yep.
Special day. Well, we got to get into the snooze here. The
Okay.
snooze. The snooze, all the news that is snooze, make you snooze. But this one thing that fascinated me, I never heard of a pet fox.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Huh? I never heard of Timber. He's a pet fox. He's a silver fox. He just looks like a fox, doesn't he?
He does. You're not looking to replace Toby, I hope.
No,
because
they
Toby's
can't replace
pretty,
Toby.
Absolutely
Can't replace
not.
Toby. Yeah, yeah. And they pulled the application down there in the behind the bank there.
Yeah, it would be nice to get something in
Yeah.
that area.
There's
It's just
some
such
politics going on about that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What else do you find exciting here?
Oh, Melissa Glendenning and just all the,
Those little puppets.
yeah, so many people know her. She has several kids, and it's just neat. It's always surprising how creative our area is. I'm not particularly creative, so I'm always impressed by these people who can
I
do
get,
such
I get you
great
there.
things.
Is she Bill Glendenning's sister?
She's married to she's
Tor's?
sister-in-law. No, she's not married
No,
to Tor, but she's married to one of them.
Oh, she's okay.
So she's their sister-in-law.
Okay, that's how that all figured.
Yes.
I couldn't figure it out.
I got you.
All right. Assisted living facility. Boy, that's something that's badly needed over in Wiscasset. Mm-hmm. I don't know what we're going to do here. As the county gets older and older and older,
Right.
the assisted living becomes more and more important. I have a friend right now
Absolutely.
that's in bad need, and there's no place for them to go.
I know someone who's on River Road in the same type of situation. There aren't any facilities or any beds available, and people, it seems like with our doing census work, you should be able to see what type of needs are coming, but
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
hard.
it gets to be a political thing, and where's the money going to come from? How to
Right.
build these? But I don't know.
yeah, definitely difficult.
School budget over to Edgecombe, that didn't.
Yeah, it's that time of year
table
we're
the
going to
budget.
see
How do you
them.
table a budget?
They have to pass it by a certain time to be able to. You don't want to be in a situation with not having contracts. And
Well, they only want almost a 25% raise. That's considerable.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's considerable.
Yep, 23.59. That's
It's
a
amazing
lot to ask.
that Damascotta just had a big school budget raise there, and everybody wants more money.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer station more money, ambulance service more money. LCTV'd like to have a little bit too.
Same with the Y. But where is this coming from?
Where's
right?
this all going to come from?
Right, that gets difficult.
Where's this all going to come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, up there, Somerville, the EMTs rate hike there. Yeah.
Just everything's more expensive.
I don't know, Sal.
I don't know if we're going to solve it within
But
our
we talked about some fun
time.
stuff. This fishing derby looked like a lot of fun.
It did. Look
they
at
finally
those
got enough
fish.
ice. It might have been the only weekend all winter that there was enough ice to go fishing.
Yeah, what I saw that one of the ponds in Maine, I think it was Moosehead that they're saying it's never going to ice over
No,
this year.
not this year. No.
Has that ever happened before?
Geez, I don't know. I don't think so.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 4.4 pound bass, Robert
Look
Russell.
at that.
That's a big fish.
That is a big fish.
Yeah.
He blends right in with his camouflage.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you and I tried to, before we sat down and talked about this today in this show, we talked about Damascotta revisits this decades-long grant conflict.
Yes.
Somebody dropped the ball there.
Yeah,
I don't know who or
things
what.
were sold when they weren't supposed to be to get Damascotta out of their compliance. I've been in many of those meetings, and we're really just, from the Wise perspective and from the town, we really just want to work to get it right so the town is able to get these funds in the future.
But it seems to me that it was, no matter what they did, it was always a no from the state.
It's been a challenge, let me say.
You can say it's...
I can't. I got to be careful.
I'll say it
here.
for you. It sounds like the state's not being very cooperative.
It's been very difficult to, try to make this right.
But
and
why
that's
should
what
it be that hard?
Because there are certain laws that say if you, depending how many acres of land was sold, how many then you need to replace, and what that replacement land looks like. That's where we're having the most amount of difficulty. And it could have been sold for, I'm just going to throw out a number. Just say it was sold for $100,000. Now you might have to pay $1 million to replace that. It's just there's a lot of things behind it.
But it would seem to me, regardless of what the law says, it would seem to me that what's best for the townspeople in Damascotta, regardless of what the law says.
Right.
Let's go to the state and say, look, let's work together and fix this. What benefit
want
is
to-
it to the
right.
state to renege on all this thing or decline all this stuff.
Well, I think they're thinking perhaps people are going to go ahead with this conservation land, but they're not going to have to make them eligible for these grants. That's where the kind of the disconnect is, I would say. But.
Really? What do you think of Newcastle? They're going to reevaluate again.
I'm a Newcastle
I know you are.
resident, and I was just had this happen, but yeah, could be good for some people, I will say, but it depends.
Could be bad for some people,
It's
too.
definitely going to be bad for some people. But
Yeah, I was surprised that they're doing it again so soon.
it took us so many years to have it done the first time, so to do it again so quickly
So
is
why do they
surprising.
think, I mean, I know COVID says, valuations, properties went up, and they did, but they seem to be leveling off.
Right.
Some even coming back a little bit. I got
Right.
some friends in real estate. And are they going to gain that much? Because these valuations aren't cheap to do.
I don't know if they'll gain more, but I think it's going to redistribute it. But whether that's advantageous to them, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
Stay tuned, folks.
Maybe next week we can solve that problem. Larry.
We'll figure that out for next
By
week.
next week.
Yeah, budget increase over Wisconsin,
Yep.
2.5% almost.
At least that one seems to be within, a cost of living increase, not in
That's
the
a
20s.
workable number.
Right. And I think-
25% is not a workable
Right. When
number.
you see 2.44, you expect that because
Yeah.
you do need to pay people more. There are rising
Absolutely.
costs, and that does seem reasonable.
Absolutely, but 25% is not reasonable.
No, that's scary.
Yeah, and I saw that lady Begonias over there was going to move.
I see begonias. I'm not,
Yeah.
okay.
You know where that is over
No.
there, right across
It
from
looks-
Shaw's? and
It
that
looks
mall?
like, that's what
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's a lot of empty storefronts there all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's too bad because the downtown seems to, have such a great store
Yeah.
base right now. It would
Yeah.
be nice to get that filled in.
Yeah. Good to see the Wiscasset Republicans going to get together. They can beat that one to death. Yeah, you must know Doug Wood.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
You Bremen boy.
Okay, I don't know him, but I have seen a lot about this, the Greater Waldoboro to help. Have you read about that? It was on the news also.
I did read about it a little bit, and then I'd heard about it. I didn't read about
Yeah.
it. And then I read this day. I put 2 and 2 together, and it almost equal 4. Imagine that.
Amazing.
Yeah, I said, oh, okay, that's what they were talking about.
But it's so neat how people are really starting to recognize the crisis and really getting creative. Unfortunately, they have constraints for when they can be open and what's going to happen to these youth then, but it's a different
I went
spin
with a
on
friend
it.
of mine that was interested in purchasing that property about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and the place was in hard shape.
Yeah.
Really hard shape. And I said, geez, best thing to happen to this place is bulldoze it
Right,
and
to
build
start
new.
again.
The new owners had bought it, and I guess they're trying to turn it around. And it's gut wrenching how many people don't have a place to go.
Right.
I pulled into the Y the other day, and you wouldn't know this, but because I go at 5:30 in the morning, 5:45, and there was the car sitting next to me was running, and I was like, "Gee, somebody go in the Y and left the car," because it was a cold morning, and I get out and I look, and there was a guy sleeping in it. He had a blanket over it, and the car running. Obviously, he'd been there all night long because the ground was wet and it was dry under his car. And I was like, man, I told Ron when I went in, I was like, but
Yeah.
he said that he went out a little while later and the guy was gone.
Yeah, it's amazing how many,
That's a safe place to park.
it absolutely is. And, then we can connect them with our community. Navigators can go and help them get resources, but it's amazing. Just so many people don't realize the need within our own community.
Just crazy, crazy. Well, wasn't it a couple of years ago you had some homeless people camping out behind the Y there, and that's kind of a sad situation.
Very sad.
Yeah. Billy, my friend Billy Maxwell over there, he's got the time capsule taken from the foundation of A.D. Gray.
Okay.
What do you suppose in that? Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What will they find? Oh, that crash was pretty sad the other day in Edgecombe. I wasn't even in town and I heard about that crash.
Really?
Yeah, on 27. That's a
Yeah.
pretty, the straightaway there at the old Army Navy surplus store.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
hope everyone's okay.
Yeah. Dresden over there, they're still arguing about that mining moratorium over there. They've been growling about that now for a couple of years. Yeah. Glenn, didn't he come up with a great picture? Huh? Yeah. It's already started, the little bit of political talks, the little bit of the editorials.
It's just going to keep going now
It's just going to get
till
worse
November,
from here.
right?
Yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. Yeah. New 4-H club starting down Pembroke. What do you know about that?
I heard about that. That's great, just because of all the type of service. It's great to have, anything like that can serve the kids. I don't know what they have for like Girl Scouts or other type of organizations. I know we do up here, but I'm not sure what they have down on the peninsula.
So I checked this picture out, and I got to ask, do you know anything about this Charlie Herrick, this young 4th grader? Would his grandfather be Charlie Herrick Sr.?
It would not be,
It
because
wouldn't.
I actually know this young man. I had him when he was 4 years old. Great family that is based out of Wiscasset there.
Okay.
And yeah, he's a great kid. Comes to some of our camps in the summer, and just a really fun family.
That's good. Well, his namesake was a fun guy.
Yeah, right.
Charlie. Yeah.
Different Charlie.
Yeah, going to have a special town meeting. Did you read the Weeks and Walt story there?
I did, because
I
that's what it looked like.
Do you remember that garage being there?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I do.
Oh, I didn't think you're not that old, so I didn't know if you.
I don't have a birthday today, but I'm old. But I remember back when I played basketball for Lincoln, which was, a lot of years ago. Carrie Foster, her grandfather Waldo, would give her free every 3-pointer she got a certain amount of gas for it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Huh, I'd be shooting
You
all
were
the time.
coaching then.
I was?
You were. You were the JV coach.
JV
back
coach?
Then. Yeah.
Yeah, huh. I'd be down. That was in the early.
That was the late 80s.
No, I didn't coach in the late 80s. I was there from 84 to about 87. 88 maybe. 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Were you in that time? Huh. I'll be down. Huh.
Sure was.
When are they going to do a tech night around here for us old folks? I see RSU 40 did one. I think that's a great idea.
It is. And
You ought
also,
to do that at the Y some night.
we do some, we have active older adult, like potluck lunches, and we bring
Yeah.
in different people to talk about things. And the other one that's big is the scams, like, how many people are getting scammed, to try to help people with that. So that is a lot of the work that we do.
Yeah, I know somebody just got scammed by the oldest in the book. They called them, this is the bank, and your thing's been scammed. Go take all your money out and buy cards, these gift cards. And they did it, and this person is a pretty fluid person,
Savvy,
and they were so convincing.
Always call the number, but not the
$4,000.
number on the flyer. That's the other people. People see a flyer and says, "Oh, call this number if you're and you're calling the wrong number." You always call the source. So.
Yeah, Waldeboro Republicans, they're going to all the Republicans are going to caucus and get together and have a heck of a time.
Things are heating up, like you said.
Yeah, beekeeping class. Now that's an important thing, beekeeping. I'm going to tell you. If we didn't have
Absolutely.
bees, this world would be in trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I used to haul bees when I was a truck driver.
Oh, wow.
Honeybees from
Yeah.
Florida. I used to do them every spring.
That's
and I loved
interesting.
them. And I have a little arthritis in my hands. And those bee stings, you get a little bee sting. And it's different than what we get around here, but they'd make your hands feel good for a couple of days.
Oh, so whatever was
I
putting in
became
was
a
helping.
firm believer in honey.
Yeah.
I have honey
they
in my
say when
coffee
people
every day.
have allergies
Yep.
that you want to.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Lincoln Academy, they got $2,950 out of the first for the first hoops competition.
It's great.
Yeah.
I know we're going to have to get over to the sports section soon, Larry.
We
so
will,
we
because we
can-
only
we
got
have
a few
lot
minutes
going
left
on,
here.
right?
Yeah, we've just about done this thing. We're only on about page 10.
Right.
Art McFarlane died. You must know Art, did you?
I did not know.
You
Art,
did? You
no.
was manager at Udy's for 40 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You do remember Udy's.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. The AOS board is looking to hire a new superintendent since Lindsay
Geez, that
gave
was kind of
her
surprising.
notice.
You know Lindsay.
Yes.
What's
Yep.
she going to do? Move on?
I'm not sure. Said she was looking for something with a little more work-life balance. Which,
Well,
yep.
Less work,
That's-
more balance?
maybe. It's hard with all the different budgets they run through an AOS versus an
gosh,
RSU.
yes.
So
Yeah.
it makes it very difficult. I was on the AOS board for years, and they're running 6 budgets, 6 different boards that
Boards to
they're
deal with.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I
It's
bet
a
it
lot.
is.
So
I see South Bristol, they want another 12% almost for their dump down there. Transfer station, it's not a dump.
thank you. I was going to correct you.
I know. Yeah, I could have worse things happen to me than have Sally correct me. Yeah, we got to get to, I don't know where the sports page is.
I think
well,
we're
we're getting close to this thing. We got South Bristol, we talked about the important stuff, transfer station.
Yeah,
going
I
up.
got to the sports section.
All right, just gotta
if
keep
you go
turning
one
the
more
page.
page, you're there.
Oh, there
and
we
there's
go.
just so much happening.
All right, well,
Do-
first let's talk wrestling.
Yes.
And
so
I don't want to
exciting.
point anything out that was a mistake, but they made a mistake. L.A. McLeod on this girls' swim coach. Her name is Nora Lund, not McLeod, unless I read it wrong.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
It says KV Coach of the Year, but underneath there's Nora Lund, Girls Coach of the Year.
You're right.
Which is it?
I thought.
Is she McLeod or is she Lund?
I thought Lund, but I'm not totally sure. But she is a Coach of the Year. We have Ryan Ball as the Coach of the Year. Sean St. Cyr was just named Coach of the Year. We have Garrett Martin named.
It's no surprise that Lincoln
unbelievable.
teams are coming around and are competing and doing well.
It's great.
You know?
It's so fun to see that.
And you know this Hagerbo and Lafreniere.
Oh, I see them every day. And
I bet you do.
Lafreniere, every day they're at the Y. And, Lafreniere and St. Cyr and Cole Workman, who's been in here a lot too, they play lacrosse, and my husband's a coach. So it's always fun to watch them make that transition. But those boys are very serious about their working out and their sports.
I saw the Hagerbo last summer when he was working down to the Chamber of Commerce. And I said, "Oh, you must be going to college next year." I thought he was.
He's going to be a freshman.
He said, "I'm going to be a freshman." I was like, "Oh, wow." So the boys, congratulations to both boys from Potomac and Lincoln Academy.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be
an exciting
turning. Unfortunately, the Lincoln girls got beaten in a preliminary game last night.
Yep.
Potomac girls going in number 2, but they got a tough row. They're going to take on, I think it's Lake Region they play, and that's going to be a tough ball game. And
it was nice that the Lincoln girls got to play at home, though. That's always a nice thing instead of having to travel.
It was, and I don't think new coach, graduated a lot of kids, young team.
Yep.
I don't think anybody expected them to win 8 or 9 games this year.
No, Cagney had, at one point, she had 3 freshmen in there, and that just shows that hopefully we're turning around the sports and getting more young girls connected to it, because, there has definitely been a drought of girls sports and their interest in it. And we're just seeing it at the Y starting in third grade that we have coaches and we have interest again. So it's so exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, we go down and see Max play on on Saturday
Absolutely.
mornings. It's funny. And congratulations to Ryan. This is his second Coach of the Year.
Awesome.
Last year was McDonald's Coach of the Year. And
it's a great picture of him.
That's a great picture of him. Yeah, it's a great picture of him. And congratulations to Gabe Hager, who 1,000 point.
And he was on Varsity Maine.
He made the Varsity Club of Maine.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So cool.
Well deserved.
So cool. Well deserved. What a great kid, huh? Mm-hmm. Great kid. I'm sure Mom and Dad are real proud.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And big upset on the cheerleading thing. The Oceanside upset Riverhawks. Mm-hmm. And they'd won like 10 years in a row. So.
Becca, who works at King Iders, she has twins on Oceanside. She was pretty excited about that.
And I know who's involved with the Oceanside cheerleading, too. We'll leave that one alone. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. It's almost time to say goodbye, but I want to congratulate all the sports teams. Are you doing? Oh, you're going to Michigan. So you're not going to be around.
I'm not going to be around this
weekend,
but I get to
week?
watch. No, just for the weekend. We have 3 games that my daughter's playing in.
You'll be a hockey mom.
Yeah, and then in 2 weeks, my son's lacrosse season starts at Maine Maritime. So they keep me busy.
That's a little shorter trip.
That's a much shorter trip. Well, it's either getting on a plane or driving. But
Maine Maritime, what a great school it is.
It's awesome. He's so happy there. So yeah.
So we've had a good time here. We're getting down the nitty gritty. Anything we've left out, Sal?
I don't think so.
Huh?
And you're going to invite me back next week?
I could not invite you back. I've got to invite you back.
I could argue that, but we won't do that here.
When you come back next week, Sal?
I'll come back.
And then the week after that, I'm gone.
All right.
So probably you're going to have a run here. So keep your Thursday mornings open.
I will.
Folks, we hope you enjoyed as much as I've enjoyed it this week on Wuzzup. So for our gal Sal from the Y, Sally Farrell, and Dinah Dave behind the camera, TV Toby here on the floor, I'm Larry Sidelinger, and thanks for watching. Happy Valentine's for a day late, and happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time, folks.
LCTV is your nonprofit community media station. Please donate at lctv.org to keep us strong. Thank you.
Chase Tree and Tractor Service with 25 years of experience in tree removal. Serving the Midcoast of Maine, licensed and insured Maine arborist, whether it's a pesky blowdown or a hard-to-get tree that needs removal. When you need an experienced professional, Jake Chase is the man for the job. Call 207-242-8961 or email him at chasetreeandtractorservice.jc@gmail.com.